Hi there. So those of you who are dealing with different symptoms, different kinds of pains or numbness or any kinds of symptoms, there's several ways that you can look to see if you're improving. Sometimes improvement comes on real subtle and real slow, and in those kinds of times it's hard to tell if you're improving or not. So here's some clues. So the first thing is, let's say you have, for example, radiating pain down a leg, like a sciatica, right? What happens with sciatica as it improves in a subtle way is if the pain that starts at your bottom goes down the back of your leg, down past your knee, all the way into your calf, if that pain actually over time doesn't extend past your knee, and then eventually it's in your hamstring, and then eventually it's in your buttock, like as that pain gets closer and closer to the spine or less far down a limb, this applies towards hands and arms too, that's a sign of improvement. Another clue is if we have numbness in our hand, let's say you're numb in a couple fingers, right? Over time, the improvement can, definitely not always, but sometimes that numbness will actually go away and turn into a bit of pain, because numbness is actually a worse sign. It's worse in the scale of badness. And so as you improve, you can actually feel pain instead of numbness. That's a sign too. It's not pleasant, but it is an indication in some scenarios where you're actually getting better. Another common way to assess if you're getting better is, these are classic descriptions like intensity, duration, and frequency. So imagine you have pain somewhere again, or it could be any symptom, it doesn't have to be specific to pain. But there's this symptom that you're dealing with you don't like. And slowly picture it kind of like you're listening to a radio, and the radio is the symptom. This is the way I liken it. So you can turn the stereo on and off. That's how frequently it comes on and off. So over time, if it's on less often, that's less frequent, that's better, right? Sometimes if you turn the radio on and you have the symptom playing, how long it plays before it turns off again, that's your duration. So obviously you can have a shorter duration of that symptom. That's a sign of improvement. And the last one is if that radio is on and you have the volume turned up high or the volume gets lower, even though it's on the same amount of time and it's on the same frequency of time, if the intensity, that's the volume, is less, that's also a sign. So how intense it is decreasing. The duration it's bothering you is less, or the frequency of coming on again is less. Those are all signs of improvement. Now the last sign is also something that's pretty subtle, but one of the most important things is, let's say again you have a common thing like your back hurts and you can't do all kinds of normal daily activities. You can't drive in the car for long, you can't sit in chairs for long, you can't lift anything, things like that, right? Well, and you feel a certain level of intensity, duration, frequency, you have a certain level of discomfort. Over time, as you get better, what you might find is you'll feel the same, but subtly, you'll be able to do more. Like you're able to drive the 30 minutes to work and you get out of the car and it's not worse. And where before you couldn't even consider driving the 30 minutes, you just teleworked, or you couldn't possibly lift that thing because it hurt too bad. But now, even though it still hurts a lot, you can still lift the thing. So the symptom itself hasn't gone away, but your function has improved. So those are the things, ways in which you can improve in a subtle way or in a very slow way. See, the reason why this video is a lot of people, if they're getting better very slowly, sometimes it's very demoralizing. You know, you're facing the same uphill battle. You wake up in the morning and you feel lousy every morning, and it's hard to tell if your efforts are paying off. Well, with these kinds of clues, you can help win the morale battle. You can give yourself the encouragement and inspiration to keep at it because you know you're chipping away, right? So good luck, and I hope to see you sometime soon.